So I usually do not fall for the hype, but this time I did, and I really like this book. And this book you all might be seeing so much on Bookstagram and as well as on YouTube. So today I'm just going to talk about that book, and in case you did not like this book, please stop watching this video. Do not watch my video. Please do not spread any negativity in my comments, because I have zero tolerance for such comments right now. I mean, like, if you do not like it, then that's fine. Just do not come to me saying how could I like it or something like that. So yeah, without wasting time, let's get started. Right, so by the title and the thumbnail you already know that the book is Yellowface by Kuang, and this book recently got so much hype on Bookstagram as well as on BookTube. And also one of my Bookstagram friends actually was reading it, and I had this book on my Storytel, so I also started listening to it. And it's a combination of so many things. Like, by now you already know the plot and everything of the story, but in case if you do not know, I would just brief you about it. And but before that, let me just tell you that it's like a combination of so many things. Like, it's a thriller, it's dark, it has satire in it. And let me be very honest with you that initially I was kind of scared whether I was ready for this book or not, because I was not in a mood for something heavy or anything like that requires so much of my attention and energy from my end. But thankfully, when I started it, I just realized that it's like very easy peasy. I mean, like, easy peasy as in, it's very smooth and it's very easy going. You do not have to think like too much, or like do calculations or anything. So sometimes, books like this are just best. So, like, that's my experience. So if I talk about the plot in just simple words, this is a story of two authors, June and Athena Liu. And according to June, Athena Liu is like the best writer out there, and whatever she writes, it's like so good, and people admire Athena's writing, and it's just so freaking good. In simple words, it's just so good. So June has this insecurity, as well as she is kind of jealous of how good Athena writes. And one day, while they are just sitting at Athena's place and they are just chilling together, Athena suddenly dies. And this is not a spoiler, because this is how the story actually starts. So Athena Liu dies in an unexpected accident, and that's where the real story begins. Because June decides to steal the manuscript of Athena Liu, and she presents it as her own book to the publisher. Like, she is stealing someone else's work and she's presenting it as her own. And so this happens, and for a long time this continues. Now people have started liking and loving this author June, and people are admiring. But then there are also people who are finding faults in her book, and they're criticizing her and all those stuff. And also, before I proceed, I would also like to mention that there is some Chinese political as well as historical stuff in this book, which I did not understand, or I did not search about those things. But definitely, because of my lack of understanding of those issues, I did not really understand in those parts. So if there was something problematic that I missed while reading this book, that is only and only because of my lack of understanding about the certain issue. All right. So moving ahead, when this whole fame and success June starts getting, she's still not saying anything that this is not my work, I've stolen it from someone else. She's totally fine, and until one day someone starts threatening her, because someone apparently just knows her truth. Someone knows that this is not June's work, but this is Athena's work, and June has stolen this manuscript from her. And so now that person starts threatening, and the story is all about how it unfolds later, and how she handles the situation, and for how long she is going to keep this truth to herself, and whether she is going to, confess this thing or not, what's going to happen, you will discover it in this book. So that was like a brief about this book, and if you have already read it, do let me know what do you think. For me it was like quite thrilling as well as engaging, because constantly I was thinking like what is going to happen next, what is going to happen next. So yes, that was like my case. I did not think too much about what's going on, like if there is like something problematic about it, I really did not think too much about it. And it's not that I never think about these things in any book, but I was at that phase, at that point of time, where I just wanted something like very easy and something just to entertain me. And this book like came to me at that time, so maybe I did not pay attention to certain things. And also I have seen people saying that this book has racism in it, which I agree that this book has. I guess it should not be there, but sometimes I believe that authors try to portray characters who are racist, or anything that's problematic according to the society. But initially I also used to have like problem with these kind of things, but then I realized, and this is just my opinion, that just because a certain character from a book is racist or sexist or anything, doesn't mean that the author is also racist or sexist or anything, whatever the problematic stuff is. They're just trying to make that character that in a certain way, so that it somehow contributes to the story or whatever, like it's just a part of that character. So I don't know, this is just my own opinion, and it doesn't have to make sense to everyone obviously, but this is just what I feel. And it was like very smooth and very easy to understand. It doesn't waste time to in setting the plot and creating the whole situation and anything. It just starts like very fast, so it's like very quick and very fast paced, and once you start you'll just not be able to stop until you reach the end. So that's my review, and if you want to read it you can read it. If you do not want to read, do not read it. It's not like it's a compulsory book that everyone should read. But it was quite I was just quite shocked while reading this book, because I have never read a plot like this, so it was very unique and quite fun for me. So yes, that's how I felt about this book. So do let me know what you thought about it if you have read it, and if you're planning to read it, do let me know about that too in the comments. And that is it for today's video. I'll see you in the upcoming videos. Until next time, take care and keep reading.